Hey guys, it has been so long since I put a video up on this channel. It's been 2 months. I just checked before I started filming. That feels shit. I just wanted to do a quick little update because I hate not filming or putting anything up. I've just realised what a fucking weird angle is. I think it's when I sit up, it's the right angle, but when I'm like leaning on the desk, I just disappear. I'm really flustered. I'm like, I've got out of practice with filming this kind of video, just like a straight talking video. It's really weird and I do miss it. It just feels very strange. I did film a little update about a month ago to put up, but something went wrong with the file and it was corrupted, so I just talked for like 10 minutes and it just disappeared into nowhere, which is brilliant. I did an exposure that was quite big, maybe about 6 weeks ago I think, and I was editing that footage. I think I edited it for about a week because I was doing it in tiny little spurts, but I kept having to go over it because it was so long. It was like 50 minutes long and I was like, I don't, like, no one wants to watch anything for 50 minutes. Long story short, I opened it again the other day to try and finish it. There's something wrong with the project file, as in half the audio is missing. And I'm just like, is the world trying to tell me not to post a video? I got so annoyed because I'd spent so long on that video. It's not like it was a great video, it's just that I'd put a lot of time into it. That kind of sucks. I still have the raw footage so I could edit it again. It's just that I don't understand where it's gone. Where did the audio file go? Who stole it, you know? I get really pissed off when I don't understand why technology is fucking me over. I'm just like, if someone can tell me why it does the stuff it does, I'm like, okay, the phone crashed because it didn't have enough memory or whatever. I'm like, okay, I understand. If an audio file just disappears and no one can tell me why, I'm like, I'm not happy about it. So, what have I been up to? The only thing I can really think of to say is that today is a super weird day for me for a pretty big reason. And I don't know why I'm finding it hard to talk about it, but I am. I guess it's really emotional to talk about, even though it's got good sides, bad sides, you know, it's not like a horrendous thing. My DBT group finished today. I had my last individual therapy session 2 days ago, and then today was the last day of the skills group, and I have such mixed feelings about it. I realise that I'm like playing with my hands on my throat, and that's supposed to be like a body language thing of vulnerability. Yeah, they taught us that. I know it's kind of obvious. Anytime anything changes, I have a really hard time, and I just don't do well with change, and life is constantly changing. You often don't get to choose when it happens. This wasn't a shock. I knew this was coming. I knew the group was going to finish, but like last night I just got super angry and full of rage, and I couldn't settle and I couldn't go to bed, couldn't sleep. Nothing would calm me down, and I was like, why am I so angry? Like, where is this coming from? And I just think it's the fear of the change, that I won't have the same schedule, I won't be going to individual therapy, I won't be going to group therapy. And that was taking up 2 days of my week, because for the entire day that those appointments were on, I couldn't do anything else because it's intense, you know, the things you have to do and talk about. So I learnt very quickly that those days had to be me by myself or with my other half. That's it, you know, I couldn't do anything else. Like, I couldn't even go shopping. That's really scary, to suddenly have your routine just broken because I don't have anything else set in place, and it's so easy for people to say to me, just set your own routine, just get a schedule, just get a planner, just. You just want to punch them, don't you? When they say that to you, because you're just like, you don't understand what's going on up here, I can't just anything. I would love to be able to just make a schedule that was productive, but also took into account my, the fuck is that word? Why can I never remember words when I'm filming? Oh my god. I should have like a chart of words that I forget on the wall. Because I always forget the same kind of words. Limitations. The word I'm trying to think of is limitations. I would love to make a schedule that was productive, but also took into account the limitations I have with my physical health, my mental health, everything. Because what I tend to do is schedule way too much stuff that I can never achieve, and then I just end up feeling worse. Physically, mentally, everything, I just end up in bed. So that's no good for anyone. So I'm not great at that. I can accept that. I can accept I need to work on that. I guess it's natural to feel like this. I was told it was natural to feel, you know, this almost abandonment. Like, because it finishes in a really bizarre way. Like, there's no guidelines or anything. When you leave the clinic, like, for good, you feel like they're supposed to give you, like, a handbook of, this is how you now go out into the world and live. It doesn't, and I totally feel like it's on purpose to try and make you see that hopefully you're going to be able to do it yourself, and that you don't need to have your hand held, and you know, you've been taught all this stuff. And I realise I'm now kind of making a video about the frickin' DBT, and that is not what this video was meant for, because I want to make a separate video about that. No, I'm done talking about the feelings around the change. I keep saying the change and thinking of menopause. That's not what I mean. I know you know that, but why do I feel the need to explain myself all the fucking time? I didn't even want to go to the group today because I hate anything that even remotely resembles a goodbye. So even if it was like, say when I used to have a job, if someone was leaving, I would hate it. If I was leaving and it was my last day, I would hate it. I hate it if a member of staff leaves my coffee shop that I go to, you know, like, I just can't handle it. I mean, clearly I can handle it, I'm alive, but I'm saying it just, I hate goodbyes. I will avoid them if I can, and I know that's not good, because avoidance isn't good, but I don't know, and that's why I went to group today, because I was like, well, I still want to have the last session, you know, and get the last skill taught to me, and the whole flipping point of this thing is to not avoid things. There's a lot more to it than that. So I really had to push myself to go today. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be at all, but it was so different to all the other sessions, because there was only 4 of us. They call it graduating. I have dropped out of things before I've got the chance to graduate, so this is weird for me. And I know it's just a piece of paper, and I know it's a therapy group, and I'm weirded out by the fact that I got a certificate. Did I say that already? They gave us a certificate. I absolutely died in my chair right there, just turned into a puddle of, oh my god, just remove me from this situation. This is just hideous, because the attention is on me and the other 3 people who are leaving out of, like, I think the group was 9 people by the time. Yeah. You start at different times. It's weird. I'll explain it another time. Anyway, I'm going to show you my certificate because it's weird, but I have to cover up obvious parts of it for privacy issues, and it's going to be really difficult. I've come up with a plan of, like, covering it with paper and a pen. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Oh, I'm such a shit show. Look, I have a certificate with a gold thing on it here. If you can read the bottom of it, it says I did something and finished it. I don't know why, I just wanted to kind of document the certificate in this video, because I'm gonna film a different video about the frickin' therapy. But this is clearly something that my brain wants me to talk about today. Yeah, this certificate is weird. It's weird. I'm just not used to it, you know? It's I wasn't expecting it at all. They didn't tell us they were going to do that or anything. I assume they do this for everybody, but because I was in the first 4 people to join the group, we'd never seen anyone else graduate, so we were all just sitting there like silently dying inside because we're all, you know, we've all got similar problems and none of us like having attention on ourselves. So it was, oh god, it was just awful. I'm laughing about it now because it's like, normally it should be like a kind of a happy thing to be given a certificate and be like, yay, I did something, I finished something, and you just got a room full of people just like trying to like crawl under a desk because they're so embarrassed. So that was weird. I have finished my DBT group and it makes me really sad. That's the emotion that is like the biggest emotion that I'm feeling, is sad and almost like a loss. I think I already said that, which I guess isn't that strange, but you think I'd be happy to not be going to a group therapy anymore, but that's what I got used to doing every week, and it was terrifying. It was really fucking hard. But that doesn't change the fact that I got used to it, as in, it didn't necessarily become easy. It was never easy to go, but it became part of my life, and now it isn't. So it's weird. And because I have got so much out of this group, it's crazy, and I wish I hadn't been so against the idea of group therapy in the past, even though it isn't like group therapy like when you sit in a circle and talk to each other about your problems like on the telly. It's not like that. They call it a skills group for a reason. It actually sits better with me to call it a skills group. It doesn't feel as strange, I don't know. It's almost like going to a class, you know. I've totally lost my train of thought, so I'm going to shut up about that part of my life at the moment. The other piece of news that I have is that I'm actually going back to the BPD clinic at the same place to see my individual therapist for a different reason, because I had a meeting with like the head person of the clinic, and I guess I haven't talked about this because I haven't posted a video. I got diagnosed with a whole fresh version of PTSD. I have PTSD going way back that I haven't talked about, and I'm not going to talk about it now. I may never talk about it, but this was to do with when my panic attacks actually started. So they managed to actually link it to something that I hadn't considered before, which was super fucking weird. I mean, I think it really messed with my head to discover a link, because I was like, it made me so angry to discover, because even though I'm not going to talk about what it is, this thing that happened could have been avoided had I had the correct medical treatment, we'll just say that. So in a month's time I'm actually going to be going back to see the same therapist, which is everyone just figured it was the best idea because we've already got like a good relationship between us, and she also does PTSD therapy, so that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's about it. I did not mean to talk for this long at all. I always sit down and think I'm going to make a 5-minute video and it always goes on for about 20. So I'm going to say the same thing that I normally say, which is I really want to start making videos more regularly again. Maybe because of my group being finished now, that will actually happen, but then I'm going to be starting the other therapy, so who knows. I really did intend to document the DBT therapy, like even on a weekly basis, and it just took over my life, so I can't go back and change that. I plan to post a more in-depth video about DBT and my experience, and maybe just a vague outline of what it's about and the things that I've taken away from it. That's the video that I want to make. Thanks for watching and sticking around. I noticed that my follower count did not drop whilst I was away, so thank you very much for not just abandoning me like I abandoned the channel. Well, I didn't, but you know what I mean. I really appreciate your support for sticking around, and I just hit the table, tripod's on, and I bet you love that. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.